multicultural psychology. The history of multicultural psychology is best understood with the context of sociopolitical oppression in the United States. According to American Psychological Association, APA, psychologists involved in the controversies related to cultural issues began with Brown v. The Board of Education of Topeka in 1954. In this case, psychologists provide significant information regarding the detrimental effects of segregated education for children of color, empirically challenging the notion of separate but equal. This case also was the first time that psychological research was incorporated in a Supreme Court decision. Political movements and subsequent legislation and policies such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 exerted an influence of psychologists. Integration of multicultural issues in research and practice. In 1971, the National Institute of Mental Care Office of Minority Research was founded, making funding available specifically for research with racial and ethnic minorities. Although psychologists have addressed racial and cultural issues in their professional work for more than a century, culture was not explicitly considered an important variable in professional practice until the Vail Conference of Graduate Educators of Psychologists in 1973. Recommendations for the conference included the integration of cultural diversity training in psychology graduate programs. Since that time, there has been an explosion of research on multicultural training and competences. In addition to racism and other forms of cultural oppression, as a driving force of multicultural psychology, recent demographic changes have been at the center of discussion about the importance of multicultural competence in psychological research and practice. According to 2000 US Census, the ratio of racial ethnic minorities to white people is increasing dramatically. In some parts of the country, such different kinds of area, for example, if we take Americas like California, like people of color, like African Americans, Latinos, Asian Americans were no longer a minority, and many population experts believe that current racial or ethnic minority groups will become that numerical majority in United States by the middle of 21st century. Multicultural psychologists such as Gerald Wing Sue and Pedersen state that there is an ethical imperative to practice cultural competent psychology. Moreover, demographic trends in the country have led many psychologists to understand the value of incorporating cultural issues into research and practice, minimal because of the increasing likelihood that they will encounter racial ethnic minority people with their work.